Hello everyone, I'm Tom, and this is Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon 8th generation. Is this laptop for you? Let's find out. A box in a box, the power supply, the laptop, and some paperwork nobody's ever going to read. That's all you get in the box, pretty much identical to the previous 7th generation. Lenovo certainly did not even attempt to make dramatic changes to the 8th generation X1, and rightly so. Why fix what's not broken? Why reinvent the wheel, thought Lenovo, evidently, and release a slightly renewed version of the 7th generation and called it a day. The big dimensional change in this year's model is the thickness. The 8th generation is 0.05 millimeters. Yes, that is half a millimeter thinner than the Gen 7, but at the same time, funny enough, is 10 grams heavier. Don't get me wrong, I have always found the X1 Carbon series to be both practical and elegant, and the signature look of the 8th generation still reflects exactly that. The all-around smooth chassis, made of recognizable soft-to-the-touch plastic, somehow feels solid and fragile in hand at the same time due to its ultra-thin figure. On the left there is the only USB-C port used for charging, then the docking port, a USB-C-A, a HDMI and a 3.5 audio out jack. On the right is a single USB-A in between the cooling vents and the power button. The 14-inch IPS touchscreen is not glossy, good call Lenovo, and it comes with a screen guard. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. The touchscreen is plenty responsive, and even though it does have a bit of a lag, I have not yet been able to provoke a mistap. This would not be a ThinkPad if it did not have the traditional track point to please the dinosaurs like myself. The trackpad is still small, that's all I'll say about it. There are 4 speakers hidden around the chassis, 2 on the top next to the 180-degree hinges and 2 underneath to the left and the right of the trackpad. The screen has an actual privacy guard, which is great for those who are fond of their privacy. And last but not least, the fingerprint reader functions flawlessly as always. Now, do not expect to get the same level of bass coming from that Civic you hear passing 5 streets down every now and then, but the stereo speakers, at least the ones on the top, sound very decent. And that statement is true for watching movies as well as listening to music. And doing both can actually be enjoyable on this laptop in a relatively quiet environment. The keyboard. It is no different than the previous generation X1, or at least I was unable to spot the difference. Soft yet pleasantly tactile, 2 levels of illumination, low and high, both easily visible in a slightly darker room. The keys are perfectly spaced, even for someone with large hands like myself. The model in hand rocks a 10th generation quad-core Intel i7 processing unit, 16GB of LPDDR3 RAM, a 512GB Toshiba SSD, fairly fast one, has Bluetooth 5.0 and Wi-Fi 6 connectivity, integrated Intel UHD graphics, and comes with Windows 10 Pro. So even though the Carbon X1 is very much a business-oriented laptop, and a high-end one at that, it is still very good for media consumption. The screen is bright enough to watch any media. The colors are in the okay range, could be better, but not too bad. Again, bear in mind that this is a business-oriented, high-end laptop. I have been a fan of the X1 Carbon series for years, and thus I find it a bit difficult to be, or rather not to be, subjective. It's a small form factor, and the fact that it weighs very little, only 2.7 pounds, allows one to carry this laptop into just about anywhere, may that be a business trip or a vacation. And let's not forget about the battery life, which is a big factor. Of course, you could get a Chromebook that lives a bit longer perhaps, but then again, the people who go for an X1 Carbon don't want a Chromebook. This particular model is a powerhouse, and it can handle just about anything business-oriented you're going to throw at it. Of course, there are other laptops a lot more powerful than this one, but they're usually gaming ones. And if gaming is what you're after, then the X1 Carbon is probably not what you're looking for. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please do not shy away from liking and subscribing. Until next time, take care.